This is a ship. It's made of steel. It weighs more than hundreds of airplanes combined. And this is water. The same thing that loses a fight with your phone every time it rains. So, how on earth does this hold that? Why doesn't the ship just sink dramatically and ruin everyone's vacation? Hi, I am Brian Segal, and today I'll be teaching you the juicy physics behind ships. The big misunderstanding. Most people think floating depends on how heavy something is. But physics says, nice guess, completely wrong. Floating actually depends on how objects interact with water, not just weight, and that's where smart engineering sneaks in. Let's also talk about what ships are actually made of, because it's more interesting than you think. Most ships are made of steel, yes, heavy, strong, and perfect for not bending every time a wave sneezes. Smaller boats sometimes use aluminium, lighter, doesn't rust, basically the physics version of a superhero. Even old school wooden ships float because clever engineers figured out hollow spaces and balance. So, yes, material matters, but it's not the magic trick. Physics is. Now it's time for some vocab words. Density. Density is how tightly matter is packed into a space. A coin has a lot of matter squeezed into a tiny size. Very dense. A ship, even though it's heavy, has huge hollow spaces filled with air. So when you average everything together, metal plus air, the ship's overall density becomes less than water. And water has one simple rule. If you're less dense than me, you float. Water pushes back. When a ship enters water, it pushes water out of the way. Water doesn't move lightly, it pushes back upward. Buoyancy. The upward push is called buoyancy. The more water an object pushes away, the stronger the buoyant force pushing it up. Ships are designed with wide hulls so they displace enormous amounts of water, creating enough upward force to balance their massive weight. It's like the ocean saying, fine, I'll carry you. A quick story. Archimedes. Over 2000 years ago, a scientist named Archimedes noticed this while taking a bath. When he stepped in, water spilled out, and suddenly he realized something perspicacious, which means deeply insightful. Archimedes' principle says an object floats if it displaces water equal to its own weight. That single idea still explains every floating ship today. Alright, time for some fun facts. A massive cargo ship can displace millions of kilograms of water, which means the ocean is doing the heavy lifting the entire time, silently, patiently, and for free. Trivia time! Here's a fun one. If you could design a ship out of any material, even chocolate or jelly, would it float? Type your answer in the comments below. So, ships don't float because they're light, they float because of density, buoyancy, and brilliant engineering, all explained by a part-time discovery from ancient Greece. Physics isn't magic, it's the invisible reason that ships float. I'll draw more diagrams and share even cooler facts in my next videos. Till then, stay curious. Bye!